What is going on, guys? PapaSea back with the video for you guys, and today I'm bringing you another budget deck on Duel Links. If you guys enjoy this sort of thing and want to support the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, of course. But going to this deck, this is Crystal Beast, definitely one of the worst decks in Duel Links in my opinion, which really breaks my heart because I really want this deck to be good. I absolutely love Crystal Beast. I think they were so cool in TCG when they first came out, and they're just really unique cards. So basically the way they work, if you don't know, is when they're destroyed, they get sent to the spell and trap zone, and you can do some other shenanigans with them. However, in Duel Links, since you only have 3 spell and trap card zones, you really can't play Crystal Beast how they're intended to play. The way that I built this deck, and the way that I've seen other people build this deck, is basically what you do is you play Sapphire Pegasus. It's an 800 beat stick when it's normal summon or special summon, I believe, as well. What's hard to summon? Yeah, normal or special summon. You can send one Crystal Beast card, or Crystal Beast monster, excuse me, from your deck or graveyard to your spell and trap card zone. So you can target another Pegasus, or you can target Topaz Tiger. Topaz Tiger is just there because of the name. It's probably the best Crystal Beast not named Sapphire Pegasus. Basically, it's a 1600 beater. When it attacks, it goes up by 400. You can make the argument that you can play this guy instead, Amber Mammoth, 1700 beater. Its effect is if another Crystal Beast monster would be attacked, you can change the target to this one, kind of like a 6 Samurai effect. Not horrible, but I still prefer the Topaz Tiger. And the way this deck works is basically you just clog up your spell and trap card zone, then use cards like Storm, Double Cyclone, and Parallel Twister in order to just basically win the game. So this deck, I don't think this deck's as budget as the Geargia deck I showed, excuse me, just because I feel like you absolutely need Parallel Twister. At least 2 of them. You can definitely get away with not having Double Cycle, and you can get away with not having Super Rush, but you need the Storms, which are level up awards. They're fine. This card, Canadia, it's not really needed. I've seen other builds play it, and I'm trying it out because I do have one. Basically, it's kind of like a pseudo Floodgate in a way. You activate it, flip monster face down, although they can flip it back face up later, so it's not as good as Floodgate. However, when this card's in the graveyard and a trap card is activated, you can special summon it as a 1200 attack monster. Not too bad. Then the next monster, I guess, because I kind of skipped over it. Anteatereatingant, one of the weirdest names in Duel Links. Basically, you special summon this card by sending 2 spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard. Once per turn, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card it controls. However, it cannot attack that turn, which is really, really annoying. Surprisingly, though, this card can help with OTKs. It's not the most consistent OTK deck by any means, but there have been times where I summon Pegasus, special summon this, activate Ties That Bind, and then attack 4,000 or 4,200, whatever, which is pretty nice. Next up, I have Crystal Release, which I'm probably going to cut. I'm just testing it out. In theory, it's okay. You equip it to a Crystal Beast monster, gains 800 attack. When this card is destroyed, you can get a Crystal Beast from your deck into your spell and trap card zone. The unfortunate thing about this card is it misses timing with cards like Parallel Twister, because Parallel Twister sends to the graveyard, then you destroy and you miss the timing, so it's a bit annoying. I really just play it for the boost. However, once I get my Jessie to level 40, I'm probably going to drop one for a Crystal Release, which lets you special summon a Crystal Beast from the spell and trap card zone, which, honestly, if you open Pegasus and a Crystal Release, and your opponent has literally nothing on the field, you could actually OTK with that, with Ties That Bind. Now, I'm playing Ties That Bind because I forget the name of the other skill Jessie gets, but he gets a skill that's similar to Ties That Bind, and I'm pretty sure it's something like all your monsters gain 300 attack for each spell and trap card, face up continuous spell or something like that, which really isn't that bad. I don't have it, so I'm just playing Ties That Bind, and it works as close as it possibly could. I'll probably do an updated version of this in the future once I get that skill and once I get Jessie to 40 and once I tweak the deck a bit. I know some people that either don't play this or they just play one. I really like this card, Anteatereatingant. It really helps with a lot of things. You may be thinking this deck is kind of overkill with the spell and trap destruction, and you are a little bit right. This deck does struggle against decks like Sylvans that don't really play a lot of back row, which is kind of annoying because Sylvans are like the most common deck. As much as I would love to take this deck to Kingdom Games, I just don't think it's possible. Right now I'm still in Plat. I'm going to try my best to take it to Legend and see how we go. So in terms of other Crystal Beast cards you could potentially play, like I said earlier, Amber Mammoth isn't bad. Luckily, these are all Jessie level up / drops cards, excuse me, from the event, so they're really not that hard to get. The Rainbow Dragon, I just don't think it's worth playing. Unless you have a deck that's solely dedicated to Rainbow Dragon, it's just really not worth playing, and even that I don't think it's very good. This card, Ruby Carbuncle, which honestly is a pretty good card. Basically, when it's special summoned from the spell and trap card zone, you can special summon as many Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap card zone as possible. The problem with this thing is you can never special summon more than one of the Crystal Beasts because there's only 3 zones. So if you have Ruby Carbuncle in your spell and trap zone, a Pegasus in your spell and trap card zone, and then 1 extra free space to activate a spell to special summon Carbuncle, it's really difficult to do, and it's really not that great. And then there's Crystal Blessing, which isn't that bad. You know, target 2 Crystal Beasts in your graveyard, put them in your spell and trap card zone. I just don't think it's really worth it, to be honest, because your Crystal Beasts are going to be in the grave, or in their spawn trap cards when they're destroyed anyway, and they're really... There was never a situation where I said, man, I wish I had Crystal Blessing, and there's one other card that I did try out, that was Crystal Beacon, which isn't bad. This is probably, if you play Cardboard, you pretty much have to play this card to special summon it, because you can only get one Crystal Promise at level 40. Basically, you special summon Crystal Beast from a monster from your deck when you have 2 or more Crystal Beasts in your spawn trap card zone. Again, I mean, I guess what you could do is you could have 2 in your spawn trap card zone, activate Crystal Beacon, get a Carbuncle, special summon the other 2, but even that, it's just like, it's so hard to pull that off. And then the last card that I tested a little bit, which isn't bad, you know, you could definitely play this card. I've seen some people play it, is Crystal Tree. Basically, every time, let me just read it to you, I guess, because it's kind of confusing. So each time a Crystal Beast monster is placed in either player's spell and trap card zone, place a counter on this card. You send this card to the graveyard, take a number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck, equal to the number of counters that were on this card, and put them in your spell and trap card zone as face-up continuous spell. So basically what you can do is summon Pegasus, get whatever in your spell and trap card zone, if this is activated, that is, if Crystal Tree is activated, and then send Crystal Tree to the graveyard and have 2 in your spawn trap card zone, and then you can like Crystal Beacon. It's just way too clunky. I try to go for the most optimized and consistent build as possible, and I think this is as close to the best it could be. Obviously, if I had the other skill, it'd be better, and obviously if I had Crystal Promise, it'd be better, but this is the best I can make it. So let's just jump into some games and see how we can do. So I'm still only in Plat 4. I did rank up from gold. I forgot what deck I was playing. I think I was playing like a mix of like Geargia and some other decks to get out of gold. And since I got to Platinum, we had Jesse Anderson. Okay, I've been playing a lot of Crystal Beast, and I still think it is possible to get this deck out of Legend or out of Platinum. I really want to, but it's going to be hard. So this is a horrible hand, and we're going first. I feel like this deck prefers to go second, because like if I was going second right now, I could destroy literally any card that he plays with Parallel Twister. So I think my best option is to just summon the Topaz Tiger. This could be a mirror match, which actually would be kind of interesting. Do I want to activate this? I'm going to activate this. Now, one thing I really like about Crystal Release on Sapphire Pegasus is it boosts you to 2600 attack. After ties that bond, you could attack over Master Anki, which is pretty nice. And I feel like in Duel Links, if you could get a monster with over 2400 attack, that's really relevant. I feel like the mid 2000s is just a very good attack to have. Of course, there's Hermitry with 2700, which is a little bit annoying. But this deck can get some attack power, which isn't that bad. So it looks like he's playing Amazonas. If he attacks, I'm gonna let this go through. He doesn't attack. Okay. Now, the problem is when I attack the Amazonas, I will gain 400 attack, which is a little bit annoying. Now, I don't believe... I actually never tried this. I don't think I could summon Anteatereatingant and activate Econ, although why would I want to do that? I guess if I put it into defense mode, it'll whatchamacallit, I won't take damage. Actually, if I summon Anteatereatingant off of Crystal Release, I think it doesn't miss timing. I'm going to try this out. Hold on. So let's special summon this. So I don't think I could chain Econ because I have to send it to the graveyard, right? Yeah, I can't chain it. So let's just do this. Now, does that miss timing? It does miss timing. Okay. That's a little annoying. But what can you do? So let's use the effect. I was probably just better off using Parallel Twister. But we got the style points to summon Anteatereatingant, which is pretty nice. So you activate this thing. I honestly don't even know how Amazonas work. I still destroy it though, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. So I'm not going to use my skill because I'm just going to take more damage to myself. Unfortunately, I forgot to mention this. Anteatereatingant cannot attack the turn it uses its effect. Which is, you can use the effect every turn though, which is nice, but you can't attack. Now, I don't think it's bad. It is annoying because there actually are situations where you could have OTK'd if you could attack. Like, let's say your opponent has just one set, and you're able to get any 2 monsters on the field, basically, preferably a Pegasus. I just think you need a Pegasus to OTK with this thing, because you won't do enough damage then, right? Yeah, you won't do enough damage. No, you will do enough damage. You'll be 18 and 22. But still, it's kind of annoying. So another Amazonas summon. Okay. So this is kind of annoying. I don't want to use a Super Rush yet. I'm just going to use the Ant's effect again. Yeah, I'm just going to use the effect. Because if it's an Econ, it doesn't really matter. I can just switch a monster back to attack mode. I do have to take damage from the Amazonas. I don't want to waste my Super Rush, though, because these are going to be 2 Ultimate Providence. I'm fine with this. I am totally fine with that. Blue, I have not seen this card in a minute. Blue Flame Swordsman. Okay, so I'm just going to set Super Rush and attack again and take another 500. He only has 1 card in hand, and I have a set Super Rush and a potential active Parallel Twister next turn. So that's pretty nice. I wish that Topaz's effect was optional, though. So that way, like, I mean, This is like the only situation where you would not want the attack boost, but it would be nice. Alright, so he has 2 cards left. Well, 2 cards in his hand, I should say. That's 1. Okay, so I don't have my ant anymore, which is a bit annoying, and he has this range 100 attack Amazon control. Oh, I just tapped out of Duel Links by accident. Hopefully I didn't mess up the video. Alright, that's fine. Is he trying to bait me, though? I don't think he's gonna... Okay, he's gonna attack. So I'm gonna Super Rush here, obviously. Because this puts him in a really bad position, then. Okay, so he does attack. That's fine. That is an Earth monster. Amazoness Paladin. I kind of want to try Amazoness, but I actually don't have any of the Swordswoman. I'm pretty sure it's a drop reward from Mai. Maybe a level up reward from Mai, too. I just have never farmed Mai. I absolutely hate farming in Duel Links. I really do. Like, whenever there's an event, I just auto-duel. That's why I only have 2 Pulse Mines. I just auto-duel. And, I just deal with not having the cards, I guess. Alright, so down goes that guy. Now, can I get a monster? That's a monster, but not a monster I can use. So, I'm just going to attack directly. Unfortunately, you don't get the boost from attacking directly. You have to attack a monster. And if he draws a monster... See, the thing is, if he draws a monster here and destroys my Topaz Tiger, my Parallel Twister becomes live. And that's really the main premise of this deck, is your Parallel Twisters essentially don't really have a cost. Because... Okay, you just summon that attack. Okay. Discard attack still on the field. What do you have? And this is the... Wait, what does this do? What? So my Bluff Parallel Twister is destroyed and it's going to screw me over. Although I can just stack over this thing and kill it. I don't really understand this card. It's a card flipper or something that was recently. Equip this card once per turn while the monster attack, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay, so I'll just summon my other Topaz Tiger. And I'm pretty sure we win next turn. I don't think there's anything he can do. So he's going to live this attack. You take no battle damage too, right? Yeah, okay, so then this one you're going to die. Alright, there we go. You take no damage, though. That's kind of annoying. I don't know. There's another card that was from a recent event. And it's like, whenever a spell card is sent to... It's a trap card. Whenever a spell card is sent to the graveyard, you activate it, and you can destroy a monster. And you can activate that in response... Like, let's say I activate Parallel Twister. You can just activate that card, because then the spell card gets sent to the graveyard and destroy a monster, which is kind of cool. But, I feel like it's a little bit too situational. So, either way, we gotta win. Let's see if we can get another one. Alright, so I got another game here. I don't think I'm going to include the last game that I just played because my opponent... I bricked. I had 2 Super Rush and 2 of the Equip spell. And my opponent just DC'd right away. But I did say something I want to repeat. Last night I was playing this deck and I played... when did you get a rank? I'm going first. Okay. And I played against... I believe it was like 3 or 4 Sea Stealth attacks. Not a bad hand. And 1 Destiny Hero variant. And this deck did surprisingly decent against the Sea Stealth attack. Now, Sea Stealth attack isn't the most common deck anymore. Even though I did see it a lot last night. But still, it's nice that this deck has some matchups that are good for it, that are relevant to the meta. Now, another thing that I do, whenever I summon Pegasus, I always get the Topaz Tiger. Because I would rather draw a Pegasus than a Topaz Tiger. I guess it depends on the situation. But first turn, I pretty much always send the Topaz Tiger. Let's not activate the skill. No. Alright, so we got a Joey deck here that's not playing... Is he playing Grit? I know Grit from the Casey Cup has started to become popular. Because it basically just cheeses your opponent out of a win. Because, like, you can just basically live with 1... I think you live with literally 1 life point. Even if you would have lost. It's just, nope, I have 1 life point left. Some sort of anime reference, I'm guessing. But, I don't know. I remember trying it when I first unlocked it. When I first started playing Duel Links. And I just, like... I don't know. It's just too gimmicky for me. But in something like the KC Cup where the meta is really weird, I guess it makes sense. So, nothing. Okay, so... I could Storm here. Which is still a -1. Well, -2 if you want to count this, but not really. Or I could just Anteatereating Ant. See, either way, having Canadia in the graveyard is fine if I don't get to use the effect. I could win this turn. I'm gonna Storm. I could, unless he, I don't know what he could possibly do to me. Yeah, if I summon Anteatereating Ants, I can't attack, so I'm gonna Storm. Because then I summon Pegasus and I ties that bind. So unfortunately, it's still a -1 essentially. But the Topaz Tiger was set there for free, so it doesn't really matter. So what is this? Econ. Okay, that's game. See, now, very situational, but I'm glad I was able to pull it off. This deck could OTK if your opponent bricks, basically. So as long as there's no Karibo, we should be fine. If there is a Karibo, I'm set up for my Anteater-eating next turn, assuming he destroys my Crystal Beast. And I do have the Paleozoic in the graveyard in case that comes up. And that's game. That was a quick one, so I'll do one more here. And we are now Platinum 5. Oh boy. Only a few more victories away from Legend. I really, really want to take this deck to Legend. I think you could possibly hit King of Games with this deck. I'm sure there's some other variants out there, some other cards that I'm not thinking of that will make this deck a lot better. Especially late season, because hitting King of Games in the last week is a lot easier than hitting it in the first couple of weeks, as we got a Mako, which is great because I wanted to play against a Mako for this video. So I might just be that guy and hold on to the last day of the season and just hit King of Games with Crystal Beast, just so I can say I hit King of Games with Crystal Beast. So 25 cards, this is a pretty okay hand. I would prefer to have some sort of defensive card. That's another problem with Crystal Beast too, is since you kind of clog your back row a lot with the Crystal Beast, with Pegasus, and when they get destroyed and stuff, you can't really play too many traps. Another problem is when you draw a lot of your Topaz Tigers, although you could set them to the spell and trap card zone with Pegasus' effect, obviously it's better to send them from the deck than from your hand. So that's unfortunate because the next Crystal Beast Pegasus that I draw, excuse me, I'm probably going to send the other Pegasus just because I don't want to reduce my hand size basically. So he sets one. Summons Abyss Soldier. This is fine. Returns it to the hand. Okay. I feel like I would have rather him destroy it. I feel like that was completely unnecessary. I think that was just a horrible play. Why would you do that? I don't understand that. You could just attacked over me. Alright, so this thing... I could attack over it with Pegasus. Now the question is, do I want to set my one Storm and activate my other Storm, or summon Pegasus and then activate Storm? I think I'm going to set my Storm because I don't think... I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I might regret this though. If that is a C stealth attack, I'm pretty sure you could activate it. Which would be pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know why I activated that now. Because now these can't be destroyed, right? That is a problem. Oh no! What did he activate then? Oh, he didn't banish the water. Okay. So I'll summon Pegasus and get the other Pegasus. Actually, no, I'll get the Topaz Tiger from the grave. Yeah, I'll get the Topaz Tiger from the grave. I'll do that. I mean, I'm not deck fitting, but I'm not making my hand size any smaller. So that's good. Then I can just ties that bind. Now, he's going to be in a position where he only has 3 cards in hand, although he could possibly win here. If he has, Hammer Shark, basically. If he has Hammer Shark, Legendary Ocean, and Abyss Soldier, I lose. Actually, no. He'd need a 4th card. So there's the Hammer Shark. Using the effects. It can't be the Botanical thing, because he discarded it. Spine Gilman. Do I lose here? I lose here. I mean, I'll use the effect. Doesn't really matter. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And I was just saying how this deck has a pretty decent matchup against C Stealth Attack, and I just straight up lost. So that's unfortunate, but I do think this deck could get out of Plat. I am in Plat 5 right now, and I started playing it when I was in Plat 3, I believe. So it does have potential. I really want this deck to be good. I'm trying my best to make it good. If you guys have any tips or tricks to make this deck better, any ideas, any other cards I could play, your deck list if you want to show me, leave a comment down below. That'd be it for me though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later, and bye-bye.